Have you ever wondered why you read a lot more on a Kindle even when you're not trying to? Well, there's actually a lot of reasons why this happens. And it turns out that the Kindle is pretty much built in every way to get you to read as much as possible. When I first got my Kindle and I started reading on it, I was so surprised at how quick I was actually reading. It felt like I would finish books in days and just be swiping so much quicker. It truly felt like I was reading at a speed that I had never done before. If you're coming from reading paperback books and you've never read on any type of e-reader, this part is gonna surprise you. It really is crazy how cool and customizable every setting is on the Kindle. You can change every part of how you read, from the font size to the spacing of the letters to the spacing of the lines, and a million more things. Due to all of this font size and customization, there always ends up being a lot less pages on our Kindle than in our actual books, which means that we finish the pages a lot more quicker. And when we do, it gives our brain a little dopamine hit every single time we swipe on the page. And that little dopamine hit pretty much just tells you that you're doing really good and you feel good about it, and so you just keep on reading. It's different than when you read on an actual book where there's a lot more words per page and you feel like the page is endless, and so it feels more like a chore instead of getting a small reward. It's simply put just an easier way to visualize progress. Instead of being 10 minutes on one page on a regular book, on the Kindle in those same 10 minutes, you could have swiped 5 times, which means you obviously feel like you've accomplished a lot more, even if it was the same 10 minutes spent reading. That's by far one of my favorite features on the Kindle and one that I take the most use out of. Another reason why the Kindle seems to make us read so much more is simply the fact that it has no distractions. Nowadays, we're so used to reading on our phones or another device that receiving notifications and distractions is so common. But when you pick up a Kindle, it really feels like you're picking up a real book. Except that now the pages are much shorter and it feels a lot better to read the same amount. The fact that the Kindle does have no distractions really is a blessing, especially if you're someone that uses their phone 24/7 and sometimes wants to unwind. But in this day and age where even unwinding requires you looking at a screen, looking at the Kindle's e-ink screen is very refreshing. And talking about the screen, that's gonna set me up perfectly for my next point, which is gonna be the fact that since the Kindle does have a smaller screen, it means that your brain processes the book in a different way. Instead of looking at a regular book, which is very big and chunky, your brain only sees the Kindle, so it can't really process how big or small the book is. Even when you open the book on the Kindle and you see that it's 800 pages, you're still not visualizing it as you would if you had it in your hands, which also ties into the weight of the regular book compared to the weight of the Kindle. Since you're carrying something much lighter, your brain simply doesn't process that in that little thing, you could be stuck for hours and hours and hours just reading. And the small screen size and weight go hand in hand with my next point, which is going to be portability. Usually carrying a book around means carrying this big heavy thing in your bag everywhere you go. And it's something that can definitely be very annoying and something that you can't really take everywhere. A Kindle can obviously fit in many more places than a regular book can, and it's also a lot more discreet when it comes to actually reading. If people don't analyze you and see you in detail, they're just gonna think you're on your phone, which nowadays is the most common thing anybody could ever do. But due to this portability and how small it is, it means that during those dead times during the day, so let's say you're on a train, a bus, or somewhere else where you'd usually use your phone or something similar, you can take out your Kindle and you can start reading. It's in those moments when you're not really gonna have a book in your back pocket, but where you can definitely take your Kindle. So by only having the Kindle, you've now freed up a lot more reading time during your day. And I think the fifth point when it comes to why the Kindle truly makes you read so much is the fact that there's progress bars and percentages everywhere around the Kindle. It basically makes it feel like if you're playing a game or doing any sort of other task that isn't reading. When you start a book and you see that it's at 0%, but that you're gonna get to the next chapter in 15 minutes, you feel like that's something that's very easy and manageable. It gives you a goal and it gives you motivation. It gives you something to look forward to. It isn't like a regular book where you just pick it up and you don't know when the next chapter is, or where you have to manually go look for it, do the math in your head, and then calculate how many pages are left until you get to that chapter. In the Kindle, it's so seamless that it's just on the bottom left of your screen if you want it there, and you can just take a glance at it every few minutes. Not only that, but it also gives you a visual on how long you have left to read the entire book, which although sometimes it does seem daunting to see 8 hours down there until you finish the book, it still makes you feel that it's something that's doable. You'll know that if you read half an hour every day, you'll finish the book in around 2 weeks. And again, that's something that reading a regular book doesn't give you. So just the fact that you have a stable goal and something to truly look towards every single day makes it a lot easier to read and to continue that plan you set. So it's completely clear on why the Kindle really makes us read a lot more. It's a mix of dopamine hits and happiness and motivation goals and lack of distractions and a million other things. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is a win-win since we get to read more and we simply get to enjoy a lot more of our books. If you haven't seen my Kindle review video and you are interested in checking it out, I'm gonna put a card on screen right now so you could go ahead and see it. And in that same video, I left the links down below to the cases I bought and the Kindle itself. If you did like this video and learned anything from it, then please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll try to answer your comments as soon as possible. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.